Zimbabwe is experiencing a crippling energy crisis to the extent that the Zimbabwe Electricity Supply Authority has issued 12-hour load shedding schedules. Now, with all this sun, Zimbabwe needs to be tapping into serious solar energy to provide its people with energy, to ensure that industry is ticking with cheap, clean, renewable energy harvested directly from the sun using solar energy parks. In Chitungwiza, Dema area, there is Harava Solar Energy Park that is taking shape, but it is being dogged by controversy, dogged by inane political fighting, which has seen investors involved in some wars with the owners of Harava Energy Park, which is led by the chief in that area, Chief Seke, who is also part of the directors. Now, they have had an acrimonious relationship with George Beck, who is the director of Access Africa Solar. George Beck has been at the center of procuring equipment and plant for the solar energy park. And his team has been on the ground ensuring that they establish or they assemble the plant to get it working. Now, Harava owners have laid fraud charges on Access Africa. They accuse Access Africa of supplying substandard equipment and also of taking some of their equipment that is owned by Harava to other competing projects. George Beck, on the other hand, has said Harava is not paying. They failed to pay their dues to him. He says he's owed in excess of $5 million for the work that has already been done. And this has put the project so far on hold and delay. We sit down, we went to the solar energy park to speak to one of the directors, Chief Seke, and he shared his views and his insights on this, the situation right now with me, Dara Blessed Mhlanga, and Heart and Soul TV and radio.
Time yatakasvika that critical load shedding. I was watching TV with my wife and saw what other countries were doing in trying to alleviate the effects of climate change caused by weather effects and it. And they were going green, so they say, and creating some solar farms. And then I said to my wife, we've got quite a lot of sunshine, yeah, plenty of it. Can we not do it? My wife is very supportive and she said this is doable, but the challenge is funding. And I agreed with her because since I got a size of it, she would have quite a lot of funding. Then I said to her, I always believe that Zimu wangu wanundi batsira vanopindira. Saka having agreed with my wife, I then met with my friend. We are in the same business, timber production. Saka patango kurukuro ma challenges kumabasa yetu matanda achawanikwa and so forth and so forth. Then I introduced this subject and he was quite interested. He's Dr. Ezra Kanganga. Skanzi is a former chairman, regional chairman where Londro.
Okay.
And then he said, Shamari, let's look for the money. And I can promise you that, we can get the funding internationally. So he ran around, and we were quite fortunate enough. Maburu ake, they were quite keen to fund this thing. And then they said, do you have the land? That's me now, who can provide the land. And I said, the land is available. And how big can be the land? Then I said, as much as you would want. So let's start with about 20 megawatts. And 20 megawatts then required 20 hectares. So I said, let me run around. Mamisha, Chagama open spaces. Then it's just unfortunate. They think kutengesa for housing, that's the quickest way of making money. Vazhinji vairamba vachiramba. Then I then sat with my village head, and then we agreed. Minda ya baba wangu ine. Vanangu watu sabukwa. I think minda yedu tukabataniza neimwe yevamwe tingatadzere kuita chinhu icho chichi. Sabukwa vachibva vabvuma ndokukurukura nemusha vachibva vabvuma. And then I said to Ezra, the land is available. Now the challenge came. The process goes through the local authority. We were tossed left, right, and center.
But the chief, it was supposed to be easy.
That is what most people think. But mtemo wenyika ino gives less power to the chiefs and more power to the local authority. It's an inheritance from the past governments.
Colonial regime.
Yes. Until the people who were holding the purse got frustrated. Ezra told me frankly, mari yakutoenda, but inini handicharegera mari ichiita slip through my fingers. I'm going to Botswana. Ndinoona kuti can I get land to do
the same thing.
This is a viable project, and it's a project which assists countries. So he just went across to Botswana. Within 3 months, everything was square. That is where he has done. Ukoko he then did 50 megawatts.
Wow.
It is operating. But in Nini, I didn't stop from there. I remember we had an occasion wafana wangu, and I said to George, Jamari, land tinayo, and council has done A, B, C, D. It has frustrated my friends, but we still want to do this thing. Uskanzizo na George ano mdara. If you can assure me that land iripo, then I can assure you that whatever hiccups we may come across, funding I can get, and then it won't fail. So through the discussion, we realized that 20 megawatts, they're about 25 million US dollars. And George ran around and raised that money.
Who is George? Sorry,
George is my cousin. Is George Manyere.
Okay.
Yeah. Tichikikiritsana ne local authority. Takazosikope kungo let us squeeze their fingers. And then they gave us the necessary
approvals,
documentation and approvals. And then we started this thing, and we are still doing it, as you can see. And right now we are ready to pump 6 megawatts into the national grid, and Tasari Wanekungo to finish off the internal substation, which we are hoping could end of this month or second week of October. The President, His Excellency Mnangagwa, is coming to commission this thing.
Okay.
I think that's the historical development of this plant. It is called Harava Solar Park. Now, what we did is, there's a good time yatakange tichikurukura takange tichine that indigenization law.
Okay, sure.
Saka ndakati kuna George vanhu vemumusha, I have managed kuti ndiva discourage from selling the land. We need to create some benefits for them, and we agreed on 25%. What we did is takam former inonzi Bugoni Village Trust partnered company ya George inonzi Invest Solar Africa. Yeah, akafomo for the purpose of this thing.
Invest Solar Africa.
Invest Solar Africa. And then the two then formed an operating company in the Hara Solar Park Private Limited.
Okay.
Patakazaenda kuma lawyers ndio anoita point out kuti community sharing is restricted to 10%.
Okay.
Saka we had to conform to that.
So the community now owns 10%.
10% of this thing. And Invest Solar Africa registered on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange, and they wanted memberships. Saka we picked 200 people from this village to receive as Saka. Those are some of the benefits the village is getting, and we agreed kuti labor tinotanga tatarisa imumusho kana tazoshaya the expertise, then we look from outside. As you can see, it's a bit quiet.
Yes.
Along the way we had some challenges.
What form of challenges are there? Money challenge? I thought.
No. It's not money challenges. We looked at the expertise required, especially on the management part of it.
Okay.
And we invited guys, one from Canada and one from South Africa. The two, they've got a combined experience of about 15 years.
Okay.
The one from Canada, we gave him the mandate and title of being the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. the one from South Africa, being an engineer in this field, he was the operating engineer. Kuti tutangise kuvaka, we then said to government, we have the skills, but the government was not convinced the skills can be applied, because Vazhinji kupinda in this kind of business vaingonyebera hurumende. Saka that alone, they wanted to be assured. Saka for the building up of this plant, we then floated some international tenders, and we got some responses from afar. We then settled for a German company called Soventics.
Soventics, okay.
Yes. Now Soventics ndo varikuvaka, but ivo vakazoita subcontract South African company inonzi Access
Africa.
Access Africa, I don't know if that is their correct title.
So that written on your board.
That's right. Saka, the job started. Very exciting, and everybody keen to know what is going on here. They came, and the job was being done, but vakomana vandataura avo, the CEO and the engineer, they connived to get what they didn't deserve.
Okay.
They formed their own company, but vakuita my jobs kufita magetsi solar mutaundi, and eventually they competed themselves by sourcing for other projects like this. They now went into bed near Access. Access itaipa mkana ukuti ndio wanaita sourcing of material. Saka takavapa mari kuti vaite source material. Vane zvinhu izvozvo vakavaona kuti it's an opportunity kuti into their side business. Ndokubva vatanga kutora zvinhu zvatavapira mari zveplandi ine vachiendesa ikoko.
Okay.
Saka izvozvo ndo zvavasingade. Hamene kuti vakaitana sei. Muridzi weAccess ndobva varipotera kwatiri manje ekuti hamene zvavavaitana, and foolishly haana kuziva kuti ari kutozviripotera. Isusu taingoti ko zvinhu zviri kunonoka sei, zvinhu zviri kunonoka sei, zvinhu zviri kunonoka sei, vanhu takavapa mari, until that guy let the cat out of the bag. Ndokuchibva tavafaya vakomana ivo vaya. They went into hiding because they had been exposed. Eventually takazovasunga, saka izvozvo vari pabail. Muchindo weku-South Africa wemuridzi weAccess takamusunga, izvozvo ari pabail, and he cannot leave this country because court akanotaura kuti I've got a Zimbabwean passport, iri South African. Ndobvapiwa condition yekunzi produce. The Vataza produce. Saka is hold up here pending finalization of the case. Saka, those are the challenges we came across that delay the completion of this thing. But all the same, George didn't tie up. He has raised some more funds. That's why I'm saying that by end of this month or mid-October, we should complete the first 6 megawatts. Whatever we are producing here, we are going to sell to ZESA. It's not only a power purchase agreement, which is a condition here, ZERA anyway. I didn't talk of those requirements because I thought I don't think they are necessary. But as we are speaking, everything we produce here goes to ZESA for nationwide distribution.
Okay.
Yes.
So just generally, how much will you get out of your 6 megawatts?
Well, we have to calculate.
I understand you produce it. You produce at 6 cents, is it, per kilo?
I don't want to disclose that. Yeah, because it's an issue between us and ZESA.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But I just wanted to appreciate, because I think I've seen, if I'm not wrong, someone that you had a problem over payments with Access Africa, if you call it. I've read somewhere.
Well, I think the best person to respond to that is that person. But Isusu is Harala. We don't owe Access Africa any money. Yes, we were paying their labor as and when they move on stages. If we are holding on to that money, it's being held because of these issues. Okay. Yes. But if we talk of the value being held against the amounts they were given to source equipment, theirs is a fraction. They even owe Washandi their wages for 2-3 months, I think. Saka, if you had something along those lines, that's the issue.
Because I understand that they filed for liquidation or something of that sort in the High Court.
Yes, they'd filed liquidation of Harala. But if I can tell you that we are expecting to complete 6 megawatts within the next 6 weeks, what does that mean to you? Correct, their issue is of no value. They wanted to hide behind the finger that they are owed money, yet in actual fact they owe us money, and that has been tabled, and their case has fallen away.
So tell us the major benefits that generally we are going to accrue from here. Is there any electricity that you're going to take from here to give directly to your people, or they also have to buy from this?
What we have done is, during our discussion with the relevant stakeholders, we said ZESA is going to consume everything so that they alleviate the national plight of power shortage. As we moved on, we then said, Seke, being the district, which one has created this thing, and it is within the district, we should get some form of benefits. Therefore, when ZESA is implementing load shedding, they will spare us once we start pumping into the national grid. How they will do it, I don't know. If ever we are going to be load shedded, it will be reduced as compared to other areas.
Can you just maybe come here and explain to me what these things are and what
Right, you are now going on to the technical aspect of this thing. I'm not a technical man.
But from the small that you understand.
Let's talk of, right, what do you call this thing? Shamai, this is called an inverter.
Okay.
Right? But how it operates, I cannot tell you. Yes. These are the panels. They generate the power and put it into an inverter. You can see these cables.
Yes.
Right, we are actually trenching. I think from there you have seen some trenching. And come through. Those things will be stationed.
So those are the substations.
I don't know the technical word.
Okay.
But the substation, they receive whatever is being generated.
Okay.
They will be mounted on those stands.
Okay.
Right? And once it is called a transformer.
Transformer. Okay.
Yes. The transformers, as many as you can see, they will then carry the power to the substation. We are going to get there. And then the substation is going to load ZESA through that transmission line. It is going to deposit the power generated from this plant at Dema substation.
And this space here, I see you're also preparing it.
Yes. What I can tell you is this is in preparation of the total 20 megawatts.
Okay.
Right? What you see there, they are called piles. They hold these frames. And doesn't use direct sunshine.
Oh, okay.
It uses light. 5 o'clock in the morning in winter, as long as there is a bit of light, they start producing. That's the technology of these panels. So you don't have to worry about whether it's cloudy, it's raining, or what. No, you don't have to.
You'll still be giving us electricity.
Yes. Yes, and I'm proud of that. The other benefit is when we produce 20 megawatts, our 10% shareholding as Bonny Village Trust, it is going to yield to the village between 350,000 to 400,000, depending on the production rates, for every 12 months for the next 25 years when the license expires. So that amount is going to come to the village.
What happens when the license expires, Chief?
We are going to renew it. Even your motor vehicle, when it expires, what do you do? Right. So they will decide as the trust on how to use that money. Right. The plant itself, it has got those panels, and you can see these frames, they are sitting on raw land. Grass grows. It has to be kept low. That means we have got to cut the grass. We are not going to use mechanical equipment to keep the grass low. Instead, what we are going to do is to put sheep to graze the grass. And that sheep is going to be the village project. We want to create the largest sheep rearing institution here.
So these two can live together, the sheep and this power production.
Yes, without any problem. I think why, as you know, it's a very tame animal. Unlike Mbuzi,
they want to climb.
They will climb and you will see all these panels broken. But why inenge chungojga kanganita chingorarawo apa. And we are going to use sheep for local consumption, and if you can manage for exports, proceeds.
Space.
That's true.
But you spoke to me about these issues around allegations of fraud and stuff. Don't they affect the image of the project?
It has affected us quite a lot. One, it has caused some delays in completing it. That's for sure. As of the image, there's nothing we can do. It has happened, and people say whatever they want, but on our part, we are still going to soldier on and get it completed. All those cables, they will be housed in these trenches, and they deposit the power into that transformer. And you see trenching for the transformers coming into the substation.
I noticed there's a difference on the, is it your design difference or what? On those that carry ZESA pylons and the solar one.
Yeah, this is a special design to thwart thieving.
Okay.
Some of these things are collapsing. These ZESA things. Yeah. People go, they climb, they undo bolts and nuts for sale, and we don't have such there. That's the main reason. Okay. Yes, and it was specially designed to give us the maximum benefit.
Amazing project you have, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm proud of it because it's my brainchild.
Yeah, you have every reason to be proud.
We have hosted some ministers here. We have hosted some high-profile figures, including international figures. They have come to see this thing, and from my own analysis, this thing can be a tourist attraction. Vanhu vatari kutaura ve-access nana CEO na engineer, they store quite a lot of parts for this thing.
Which one? This one here?
Both, when it is completed. And as we speak, I think they are surrendering whatever they took from here.
So this is...
Like I said earlier, I'm not a technical man, but it is going to house some equipment to complete the cycle. This is the inside.
So have you contracted someone else now to do this work? Since now access is, you're having problems with
You
access.
see, you are asking me a question which I didn't want to respond to. But all the same, you need to understand the continuity of the project.
Yes.
We took advantage of the misunderstanding of access and the people who were working under them in building this thing. So we have taken the main people. Like I said, yes. We had the CEO and the engineer. They didn't even tie a bolt here. All they were doing was decision making and give them to access. And the people who were building this thing, those are the ones which we have grabbed, and we are continuing with them. We took advantage of their misunderstanding, okay. And they are now ours. In fact, we have given them better packages. All right, I don't know what is going to be housed in here, okay. But it's still under construction, as you can see. We have sunk a bore, okay. For our water needs, okay. And you can see that's the tank.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
With the booster pump.
All right. If you come at night, there's quite a lot of light, and everything is solar generated, including the bowl is solar pumped. I'm told there will be oil in there.
Okay, to cooling oil.
To cool this thing.
Okay, to cool this one.
Yeah. There are some boxes over there. They've got quite a bit of equipment for this thing.
So most of the equipment already here.
Yeah, it is. And including the cables. You see those round things? They are the cables. Now we created a workshop. Whatever you see here is done in that workshop. Yes. We import all that stuff. And it's unfortunate. We have companies like Zisco Steel.
Yes.
We should
just be taking
from them.
Yeah.
But they are not yet operational. So we import. It's forex which should have been saved.
True.
Whatever you see in the form of framing there,
you did it.
It was done through there.
So before you had misunderstanding, it was Access Africa that was doing it.
Yeah.
But were they good at their job apart from what they
My friend.
Apart from what eventually happened.
Let me tell you. They had applied for liquidation. That's why their case fell away.
Okay.
They owe us quite a lot of money. Those piles, the recommendation was 1.2 meters to 1.5 meters underground,
okay,
depending on the soil condition.
All right.
You know what they went on to do? They cut those piles to 1 meter.
And charged you for 1.5 meters?
Yes. And Soventics picked it up.
Okay.
Now the unfortunate part of it, they reported that to our CEO and engineer. Because they were in bed with access, they just swept it under the carpet.
Okay. But then they say that you owe them about 1.2 million US dollars for the work that they've already done.
If ever it's a true figure. I cannot comment on such figures because I don't have the definite figure, but in a nutshell, that's false. That is very, very, very false. If we talk of 1 point something million for work done and not paid, how did they fund their wages? How did they fund all the other inputs to get this thing to where it is? That should be straightforward. We don't owe them that kind of money.
They also allege that they were given a High Court order to access this workshop and they're still being denied.
You know, they were very stupid enough.
Yes.
When they wanted to push for payments, that was at the height of COVID, and an arrangement was made to give them their monies in trenches. So the owner of Access took advantage of the COVID situation and locked the gate to press upon those payments. His instruction to the people who were under him, in fact there were 1 or 2 people, is nobody should get into that site. Now I had made arrangements for the president to come and visit this thing. I had a meeting with the president.
Yes.
Then I came here to prepare for that, and I was locked out. I was really annoyed and frustrated. And then we discussed it at management level, and we said, let's do the right thing, because we cannot be stopped from preparing for the presidential visit. And we informed the police from Harare HQ to the local police, and we impressed upon that Access is not the owner
Of the place.
Is the employee of the owners, and they cannot lock me out. And the police understood that. They gave us not the permission as it were, but they said, you do the right thing. And I came here, disarmed the security people, replaced them with my people. And
how did you disarm them?
no, just to say, guys, you are no longer required. Just pick and go.
There are allegations that there was presidential guard that came through and stuff like that. Would that be true?
That's nonsense. It's me.
You are the presidential guard.
There was no police, there was no presidential guard, there was nobody except me and my management team. We came and asked these guys who were manning the gate to move away. We replaced all the locks, and that was the situation. But people, you see, when they want to get support, they can say whatever they want. But the truth is what I'm telling you.
So this is where all the work happens.
That's the workshop. Yeah, it's run on solar and generators.
Okay. But when this plant is finished, it will be completely solar.
Yes, and this workshop will be idle because we won't be producing anything. But if we complete first phase, it will remain operational for the second phase.
But you said that it was really difficult for you to get all the papers and approval. But some people say that you have political connections. Why didn't you use them at all?
I don't think it's the correct situation on the ground. If you say I've got political connections, it remains that way, political connections. When it comes to creating the economy like we are doing here, it doesn't demand political connections. It requires expertise, knowledge, knowing who to approach for whatever requirement you may need. Therefore, political connections, they will remain political connections for other purposes, not for this kind of work. I don't know in other circumstances if political connections assist, because I really don't know. I really don't know. Let me end there. For your own information, politicians, they don't like me because I've ring-fenced this project from them.
But it is a Musa.
Yes, and that's the naked truth. We asked the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Energy and Power Development. The chairman said, "Mambo makagona." Dema katipinza isusu ma politicians. Tatanga kutaridza kuti chii chinoya. So that's the situation on the ground.
Yeah. But Chief, I want to hear from you. You know, there's this thing that we are open for business. Zimbabwe is open for business. In the first instance, you got money. It went away because of delays. Does it speak of being open for business to you?
I'm afraid to say Zimbabwe is very good at crafting viable policies. When it comes to implementation, the policymakers, they leave it to the technocrats. And those guys, they do whatever they want. There are no checks and balances. But I'm happy with the current situation. The new dispensation is doing its best. If they tell you to jump, they don't turn around and leave you to jump. They want to see you jumping. So I'm happy with that. I'm sure you can agree with me. There's quite a lot of change in the management of this economy. I don't know if you are seeing it the way I'm seeing it. And that is caused by checks and balances. I'm happy with that.
This is amazing work, amazing change. I understand this is, you also eventually got awarded a national project status.
Oh yes, national project status, national asset status. If I had brought my keys with me, I should have shown you all the certificates in the office there.
No, thank you very much, Chief, for your time, and thank you very much for showing us around. And we wish you the best.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We bring you the story of a solar energy deal that went dark here on The Situation right now.